we're going to walk through how to search for grant-related things in Workday, and then we're going to run a couple of reports. But one of the things that happens, and it happens a lot, is I'll get calls or emails sometimes, and people will say, well, I'm trying to find it in Workday, but I just can't find it. And so I wanted to start with the Workday search is pretty intuitive. If you know the award number, which you'll get in that email that we send to you when your award is set up, or if you know the grant number, which is the one you use to charge things to all the time. So that's probably the one you have written down somewhere. You can get to things that way as well. But you would just type that in, or if you can't remember any and you're trying to look for something really fast, if you know part of the name of your grant project, you can type that in and it should come up. But I'm going to start with typing in an award number. So I'm going to type in Julie's award number in the search box. And I'm going to hit enter. And this comes up and it says no results for this award number. And you think you don't have access to something and you think that you can't find it, but you can. So I want to just kind of point out this search feature at the top, these categories. Right now it's set on top results, but there's a bunch of categories in here. So if you click on this, you can do one or two things. You can either scroll down until you find grants and you can click on grants. But if you're going to do this kind of thing on a regular basis, especially if you're a PI and you're going to be in here trying to review your stuff, go down here and hit edit category preferences. And down here, slide grants up into this top section. And really you could slide everything up there if you want to, but I would say grants and anything financial related, expenses, financial accounting, any of that stuff, I would probably slide up here into that section and then hit save. And then now when you search for something that's grant related, it'll show up here on your search instead of saying no results. So another way you can get to something, if you don't know the award number, you can type in the grant number and hit enter. And it's going to pull the grant up, but these little two dots on the side here, if you click on, that's a related actions thing in Workday. If you click on that and scroll down, you can see the award right here. And anything in Workday that's blue is like a link and it's clickable and it'll take you somewhere else. So Sandra talked about how in Workday, things are structured as an award. The overall kind of house for your project is an award. And then there may be multiple work tags within that award. So this is the award home, right? So this page will tell you all kinds of information, probably anything you need to know about your award. There's an overview tab that just has a lot of general information. One of the things I wanted to point out that is incredibly important is this award contract owner down here. This tells you who this award is assigned to in our office. So if you ever need to know who to reach out to, this is the person on a specific award who is responsible for that award in our office and can probably do the best job at answering your questions because they work with that award on a regular basis. So they're more familiar with it than others of us might be. So that's some good information on the award overview tab. Then there's sponsor information and some funding details. It shows the breakdown of, you know, what's federal, what's cost share. In Workday, it's called cost share on the award screens instead of match, but it means the same thing. And then the attachments tab here should at least at a minimum have your notice of award. Your executed agreement should be here. So we will send that to you when we set up your award so that you have the fully final signed copy. But if you misplace it or you need to find it again, it should also be here in Workday under attachments on here. So then when you click on award lines, you can see each of the award lines. This project has one GR number. It has the federal side of the project, and then it has the MG number that's the match side of the project. So those are listed here. So again, if you're looking for, maybe there's a match and the GR number, but you can't remember the match number or something, you have a way to look in Workday and find that. So you can search it, go look at the award lines, and you can see those numbers right there. It also shows you the start and end dates for each line. And some of these other things don't mean a whole lot to you guys, but it means a lot to us. But then we have the budget tab. So this has changed in probably the last year, maybe. This used to not be here. Well, there was a budget tab here, but it just had this summary tab on here. But now they have these other tabs on here that are pretty handy. The one I tend to look at, because it's easier to look at, is this award budget versus actual by object class. This is going to pull up your budget currently, as of right now, this minute. There's no way you can tell it certain date period you want to look at or anything like that. But as of right now, this is a quick look at the budget for this award. The thing about this tab, there's a really positive thing about this tab, and there's a thing that makes this tab a little bit, depends on your project, if it's a great place to go all the time. The good thing about it is it clearly breaks out the indirect cost. It clearly breaks out the F&A costs. So you don't have to worry about trying to figure out what amount you have left to spend versus what amount is indirect costs. And we'll look at that a little bit more when we run another report, but it clearly shows you that this is the balance available, total balance available of direct costs. So Julie can only spend this much less. She can't spend this $119,000 because every dollar she spends in direct costs, the system is going to calculate the indirect costs and charge them out as well. So if she were to spend that extra $119,000, her award would be overspent significantly. So, so this is a good view that breaks that out for you, and you don't have to think as hard about the indirect cost. But this is an award level view. So if you have multiple work tags, it includes everything. So this includes both the federal work tag and the match work tag. In some cases, that might be fine. In other cases, it may be better to look at them separately. So that's just a note about this tab, is that it does combine everything. There is this other tab here that does separate it. That does separate it into work tags. So you can see the balances by work tags, and you can drop these little arrows down to look at the categories in each work tag. But this doesn't call out the F&A line separately, and it puts the total row at the top, which is just confusing for me personally. I don't like it that way. I get it. I know it's that way. I can look at it. I can deal with it, but it's just not as easy of a view to look at. So, and another fairly new thing that Workday has that we have started implementing within about the last year is this award task tab. So when we set up an award in Workday, we're going to go in and we're going to set up these tasks. The majority of these tasks are for our office. It's financial reports, invoices, all of that's going to be on this tab, but we are also going to set up progress reports on this tab, PI reports on this tab. Workday told us initially that we would have notifications that would go out based on this tab. I've gotten one I have a lot assigned to me. I've gotten one initial notification, and I have not continued to get notifications. So I'm not sure that's working super great, but it is nice that it's here and it's available, and you can look on your award and you can see if you have a report that's coming up due, you can see where we're at on our reporting and invoicing to the sponsor. So you can kind of keep track of all the deliverables and all the requirements on your award on this award task tab. When we complete it, we're going to mark it complete. If it's assigned to you, it should let you mark it complete. But if you don't want to do that, if you just copy us, when you submit your progress reports, we'll go in and we'll mark it complete as well, so we can keep up with. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking this way and not that way. So this is fairly new. We're just kind of getting used to using this ourselves, but I think it's really nice, and it's nice for you and us to both see collectively where a project is at in terms of those reports that we have to submit. Um, and these other tabs, there is a billing tab. Again, billing is our responsibility, but if you're ever curious if an invoice has been paid, you can look on the billing tab and see the list of invoices and if it's paid or unpaid.